Hi, Carl the Prod of A to Z Business IT. Hope you're having a good day. So, wanted to talk about this issue that you may be seeing in the news, and wanted to put some clarity to this. ZDNet has reported about this, and a number of other news sources are reporting on how hackers are able to exploit, or able to basically bypass. Sorry, I sound a little like Elmer Fudd, but what hackers are doing now is that if they're able to bypass Microsoft multi-factor authentication. So people are like, well, why do we have it if it's not going to work? And it's a good question if it's not going to work. Um, so what we really need to do is parse and look into this article and see how these hackers were able to do this exploit. Because when multi-factor authentication, like any other internet security initiative, is applied correctly, it can be very effective. And multi-factor authentication is still by far one of the most effective tools that we have available, period. So how did these guys go about it? Well, in this one particular case, and they haven't released the particular company in detail, but what they went after was the hackers were looking at dormant, meaning email accounts that were probably set up in a large organization for contractors and people who may have left the company. They just didn't close out the accounts or do the due diligence as far as cleaning up the accounts, which could have simply been, not allowing somebody to log into the account. You can in Microsoft um, Office, as an administrator, if somebody leaves for a period of time, you can just lock sign in so that you can maintain the records, but nobody can sign into the accounts. Well, in this case, they just left them open. And then to add on to it, what they did was they just blanket turned on multi-factor authentication for everybody. And they didn't do a proper audit of what was going on inside of Office 365. Now, this could have easily been prevented, or the exploit could have been noticed and reported with some simple tools put inside of there to audit and maintain Office 365. So what happened was, when Office 365 is rolled out as a blanket, what they do is the first time that it goes on, you know, it it will do is it'll ask you for your username and password, and then it's going to go in and ask, it'll pop up a QR code and ask you to download the Microsoft Authenticator app onto your phone, and then it'll issue you credentials so that you can keep on logging back in. Well, this works when you're the real person who's logging into the account. But because they did it en masse, and they didn't check for the dormant accounts, they started to issue out multi-factor authentication to the dormant accounts, and not check who was going to authenticate with them. And again, this would have been another log issue where they could have seen, hey, why are the people, nobody's using this, and now we have authenticators going off here, and we can start to see where people are logging in, because Microsoft really allows some real granular audit controls. So in that case, they went to town, they had the authenticator, did not do anything because it wasn't properly applied. It wasn't a one-off fix, and that's what a lot of people feel like when they look at cybersecurity, is you have one tool and you're done. If the tool's not correctly put in and you're not doing proper audits, you're going to have issues. And that's what this company did. And so they were able to get inside Microsoft Active Directory and take control of Office 365 and other accounts, because some of these dormant accounts had admin permissions to add insult to injury. And so it was a pretty big and major exploit. I'm sure we'll learn a little bit more, but right now the company that's been breached has been kept out of the news on this. But you will see some links to these things. ZDNet has the story here. Make a long story short, what does brain surgery and cybersecurity have in common? And being your own client, and having yourself as a client if you're an attorney. Well, you really shouldn't do that. You really should have somebody coming in there who knows what the heck they're doing. And even though the tools can look simple and be relatively easy, easy to deploy, if you're not putting the proper systems in place, they will fail, and they will not help you lock down the systems. If you need some help, we're glad to help you here. A to Z Business IT. This is what we do all day. This isn't a hobby to us. This is what we this is our passion. So thank you so much. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.